In this episode of Quest for the Open, I slap it around Blackburn Golf Club, build and share a putting practice routine, and have a meltdown at my year's first major. What a bag of Okay everybody, it is round 2 of the Quest for the Open series here at Blackburn Golf Club, and this is the first of the Players Tour events. There's an order of merit, there's end of season prizes, there's all kind of good stuff going on. So let's see how we get on. I'm feeling okay, my game's a bit meh. Let's see what the score's like.
I thought you meant them on the green. No, I know, sorry Pete. I thought it'd be a bit ambitious.
I've been juicing. 85. Green slopes right to left. So it's just a 3/4 8, just to the right of it, a bit of spin. Bit of a shove that.
You know?
Not the smoothest, I'll do, I don't think. 285 the ditch. Pins at the front, winds into 3/4 7. Fang it back. Hold that line.
Oh, can't believe that didn't go there.
260 carry, straight that bunker, smash it. Settle, and sit a touch. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's just like some of those little trees down there. I mean, little rubbishy trees down there. So. Tree in the way. It's a full gap, that's not going to be enough. Almost like a 120, 143 is a full wedge. It's not, wind's not going to knock it that much. Really can't go low. 130 to 3/4 wedge. Probably going to be that, I think. Just try and hoist it. Go, go. Wind smashed that. Smashed it pin high, obviously. Of course, the best thing about controlling the edits on these things, Jacob, is that we can dub, can't we? Yeah. We can dub that. Just a tiny bit right at the end. Turn. Simmer a touch. With the right semi. 200 yards up the hill. You have to draw it back into the wind. 3 iron, right side of the green. Turn it in, if it holds, it's fine. I'll get past it. Trust your touch on it. It. Cheers. I've got to be concentrating on these greens, crikey. Wind is helping off the left. Conservatory in the background. Hold. Sliced it. Pretty pleased with that, actually. Oh God, it's so firm. Bit firmer on that line. Left edge of fairway. Slight drift. No, stay on the semi. Right, 86. Bit of a crappy lie, so dig it with a 58. Such a bad lie. I'm sure I could get that bad of a lie. So. Cheers. Oh, what a putter. Best putter in the world, this one. So 6 holes in and steady, if not spectacular, would be the best way of describing the round. I am struggling at the moment with simply not getting enough birdies on the card, and I do seem to be accumulating quite a lot of pars. My short game is still pretty rusty. It really does need sharpening up, but actually the Adele putter, being the first time in competition, has felt pretty comfortable when compared to the arm lock. So that is a definite positive. The greens at Blackburn, they're still a few weeks away from being up to what you would expect in the summer, so I'm getting a few bobbles here and there. But we're now getting onto a part of the course which is tricky, but also there are some chances to score. On the tee at the 7th here, I made such an error. I actually hit an okay tee shot, but completely got the line wrong and hit one out of bounds. Oh, such a horrible mental error, and that really affected me for the rest of that hole. My second drive got down by the green, but I hit a really dodgy chip and I just wasn't committed on the line for the putt. Ended up just tapping in for a 6 and a double bogey. On the 8th hole here, I was still affected and probably a sign that my driving just wasn't where it needed to be at Blackburn. That was a fade which turned into a semi-slice, which almost turned into another tee shot out of bounds. Managed to hit a fairly decent wedge shot. It was quite difficult to judge the bounce on these greens as well, if it was going to stop, if it was going to not. And also getting that roll consistent this time of year on Lancashire courses is never easy. You know, give them a few weeks and they'll be much more like what we come to expect. This tee shot, you can't actually see it because the camera just wouldn't focus. The bounce this took, it pitched into like an upslope and it was so unlucky. Then you can see here on the second bounce, just releases, goes up the hill, leaves me above the hole. And again, it's one of these little nervy, twitchy putts that I just didn't commit to and end up walking away with a bogey. So a double par bogey finish to that front 9 is not what you want to be doing. Good drive here though. Cheers, bud. It's like one of those holes, it's actually quite really wide landing area. But, yeah, and because you're told as soon as you step on the tee, oh, by the way, don't forget there's no out of bounds, left and right. Let's have a look here at what a 220-yard 6-iron looks like. Here it is. Didn't think I could fly it over the back, but I pitched on the back and then ran it through. Actually a pretty decent little chip here, just bumped it into the bank. It bobbled up and went a little bit further than I expected on this par 5. However, this putt up the hill was a little bit more committed and it managed to keep its line, a birdie at last. This next hole hit a decent drive, but again, just drifted a little bit too much to the right-hand side and just hit a really bad wedge shot. This ball was slightly above my feet in the rough. I knew it was going to snag, and for some reason, I just didn't aim to the right. I went at the flag, pulled it, ended up with a really tricky bunker shot because this green isn't very nice if you get above the pin. So I was trying to keep it below, just fatted it a little bit, and then just did not get the line or the pace on that putt up the hill. This little par 3, I actually hit like quite a decent strike. It just got snagged a little bit on the wind and then just took a big kick left into another bunker. This time, a much better bunker shot, managed to release it out quite nicely, and then all I had to do was just roll in this 3.5 footer for the par. Hey. So things have very quickly descended downhill since we last spoke. I had a double bogey on 7, which was really, I think probably the worst bit of course management I've had in years. Literally just picked completely the wrong line off the tee, despite knowing what was going on that hole. So that was a little bit of a mare, and then just some scruffy play in between. It was a decent birdie on 10, but then just to give it straight back on 11. Man, that really did suck. Right. All right. Just got enough room for a swing. 3 was not going to be enough. 240 to the front. Even if I hit this poorly, it should get out into the fairway. Yeah. And I'm just trying my hardest to just stay calm, take a deep breath, and just chill. It's all good. It's all good. Right at Tom's ball there, and then it's just going to drift a touch. Slipped a bit. Go. Big bounce. Yeah, that bit of rain. That bit of rain just on the top. I wore summery shoes. What a fool. What a fool we were. What a fool it was. Cheers. Yeah, saved it with the hands a bit, but normally 65 is a good distance, but I'm not sure about these greens. Spin left. All right, not bad. Whatever. Whatever. 1, 3, 2. 3/4 wedge. It's going to spin right. Cheers. Yeah, a little bit too much respect. Water has it on the left and it will cut. Trust it. Oh, carry. Carry, carry, carry. I don't know. I'm trying to be landing this around the front of that green, over the top of this tree directly. There's a rake at the back of the bunker. Come on, wind. Come on, wind. Back left of the green. It's a good shot, but pulled it into it a bit. Yeah, cheers. Big kind of sloping fairway left to right. Settle. Settle. Yeah, I can't quite remember. 67 yards over the corner of the trees. Pins at the back. A little bit behind, so I think it should have run. Hoist it up when it stopped. Let's finish with a birdie. I need that for my psyche. I think you need that for your psyche as well.
Oh, man alive. Wow. I think you'll find I controlled that really well, actually. Like I used 2 trees just to kill it. Left myself a little bit 12-footer there. Oh, I just ran over the back, actually. Wow. Well, that would have been an all-time birdie, to be fair. Yeah. What a bag of...
So finishing up that round with 5 pars, again, really spells out some of the issues I've been having about just not getting those birdies. I think when the greens start to run a little bit purer, might get a fairer reflection. There were quite a few putts I hit out there which I thought were going in and just didn't manage to hold their line. I finished at 5 over par, and that actually put me in tied 16. So that kind of shows you how everyone else was struggling a little bit that day. Craig Corrigan won the event at 5 under par. He didn't have a single bogey all day, which is pretty remarkable round there. My strokes gained for the day kind of shows exactly what was going on. I was not great at everything. One of the biggest strengths this year has been my driving, and that really wasn't great at Blackburn. I just wasn't hitting enough fairways, and distance was down a bit as well. So I need to be having a look at that. Obviously putting, I need to continue grafting on. And I've got my first major comp this week on the PGA North region, which is the Manchester Open at Worsley Park. So that is what I'm going to be putting all my focus into, getting my putting sorted, getting my driving back, and then just trying to make the cut at the Manchester Open. So where I'm going to be focusing most of my attention is here on the green, and the green here at Dundonald is absolutely massive. And this whole routine, it works on pretty much every facet of putting, and it should only take about an hour. So we did some filming with Fred and Hannah of Short Game Gains fame. We did a course vlog, which you can find here, and they've got all these short game alignment aids and putting stuff. Just check them out, they're really, really cool. This one is just a line and a gate. So what I'm doing here is 25 of these putts, where I'm getting the club face aligned square to that target line, stroking it through the gate, making sure my starting line is bang on, and holing it. So this is block practice, there's no pressure on this. This is just refining my stroke. Second up, these compass drills. Very, very simple. All these tees are 4 foot from the hole. You've got to hole it from each point in the compass in a row before you can move on. And then the next one is 6 feet. So this could take 5 minutes, it could take 50, but it puts that bit of pressure on. And the key for me here is really just going through my full routine, because that's what I was struggling with at Blackburn, just a consistent routine. This is the one, this is the pressure putt. Can we move on? Is Jacob going to be able to get out of the elements and start editing? This is where we see. I've been really struggling with my pace control on the greens, and a fantastic drill which I can do a little bit better now with a conventional length putter is a pin about, I keep saying pin, a hole about 20 feet away, just taking it in the right hand, so the bottom hand for me, just getting set up and allowing that putter to flow and just feel the weight of that putter in one hand, just trying to get the pace. Am I going to put one-handed for the rest of my life? Almost. And again, this isn't a pressure drill, this is just working on freeing up that putter head a little bit more, feeling the flow of that stroke. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use an app called Statistic Golf. This was actually developed by Eduardo Molinari, so Francesco's brother, European Tour Pro, and he's very much into his stats. Now check this out. So putting, you got like tee shots and all the rest of it you can do. So drill type, performance, so it's under pressure, distance, 18-hole simulation, break amount, random break amount, slope, random slope, break direction, random. So this is set up for what you would find in a round of golf. So shot one's 30 feet, right to left, medium to flat. So if I was to hold this putt, I'd almost be gaining a stroke on a PGA Tour player. Go, go. That was such a bad putt. I just towed the absolute hell out of that. But I obviously did it. So I'm going to show you what happens on the app. So putt hold, so no. So misdirection, That was short left, missed distance. We're going to be looking at, what, 4 feet there. So strokes gained, I've actually lost 0.169 of a stroke against a Tour Pro. And you go through a whole 18-hole simulation with this, and then it spits out at the end how you are compared to a pro. Fantastic app. I think it costs a bit though. I think as a one-off purchase, I think it was about 250 quid. Yeah, I think so. It was pretty pricey, but I did buy it like in a moment of desperation about 2 years ago, and now I'm back using it. So throughout the year, through the PGA events, there are a certain number of majors. These are comps which have a bigger prize money, and the Manchester Open, which was held at the Marriott Worsley Park, is one of these. A field of almost 150 golfers descend on the city which I call home. And over 2 rounds, we battle it out, and even though my game's not in great shape, I was really looking forward to it. The last few days have been soggy, they've been cold, proper northern Manchester weather. First of all, I'll throw up a leaderboard here of where I finished overall in the competition. That was tied 70th with a score of 7 over par, pretty much literally in the middle of the field. What really frustrates me about this event is I lost all those 7 shots on 3 holes of the first round, where I pretty much threw up over myself in the golfing sense. So here are my scorecards for the 2 days, and you can see here on holes 7, 8 and 9 I managed to go double bogey, quadruple bogey and bogey, to lose 7 shots and to turn my brain to jelly. I was feeling pretty good actually heading into the 7th. I was 1 under par. Even though I wasn't hitting it spectacularly well, everything felt in control. It felt pretty solid. I hit a squiffy 7-iron into the 7th, which is a par 3, and I misjudged the wind. There was a lot more into than I thought. My ball pitched on the green, spun back off, and into the murky depths. Following a very scruffy chip and a 2-putt, I managed to tap in for a double bogey. It was a bad hole, but no drama. And then on the 8th, I pulled the ball into the trees before losing it. I then hit my provisional into a soggy fairway bunker, out of which I had to knock a sand wedge into the fairway. After splashing out, I hit my approach fat and ended up just short of the green, where I then proceeded to fat a chip shot. The red mist did not so much descend as explode out of me. Kieran, who was caddying for me, was a little bit worried that I was going to snap the wedge. I full on like Popeye bent it almost. I then hit a really good approach putt and managed to tap in for my 8. The 9th hole I bogeyed was purely just almost like a reset. I tugged it left of the green. I hit an okay chip and an okay putt, but managed to get away with a bogey. Apart from those 3 holes, I was level for the 36 holes, which might sound okay, but it's not. To win these events and to get through open qualifying, I'm going to have to be shooting something like 14 shots better than this over the course of 2 rounds. Now, if we take that 3-hole stretch where I did just have a nightmare out of it, I'm still a good 7 shots away from the people who are winning these type of events. My driving at the moment is okay. My iron play is pretty nondescript. My short game and my putting, I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with, but I'm not producing enough birdies. It's as simple as that. I'm always going to have bogeys, and I'm having quite a lot of pars, but I need the birdies to be shooting under par, and they're just not arriving at the moment. And I've got to be honest, my confidence at the moment is pretty low. I'll just keep working harder. You know, I don't want to be disappointing you guys with mediocre golf. Your support that you're giving me, it requires more effort, and that's just simply what I'm gonna have to do. So let's try and turn this lumbering ship around and dock it at port birdies and eagles. That'd be nice. If you haven't already, make sure you check out here the Quest for the Open videos from 2022 so far. Thanks for watching, thanks for the support. Time to get practicing.